Hi guys, Niken here, and I'm going to show you the basics of the Mandate of Heaven DLC that's come out for Europa Universalis 4. Paradox was good enough to give us an early access copy. I'm just going to show you some of the basic updates that they gave to the game through this. We're going to open up a game with Ming, open it up in normal mode. Some of the key differences are the introduction of ages, as well as the Empire of China. It's kind of a different setup here. It might even remind you of the HRE here. There are celestial reforms that you can make once your mandate hits 100, and your mandate ticks up, generally speaking, the more tributaries you have. There are 5 reforms to hit, and you can see they impact different things. So the Emperor will get additional meritocracy every year. And we'll go into what that means. Trade efficiency plus diplomat, monthly autonomy change, port creation cost, that's kind of nice, and monarch admin power, which is sweet. Going over to meritocracy, it's similar to legitimacy. It just affects different things. So the big thing here is, to me at least, advisor costs. When you max out your meritocracy, you get 25% off your advisor costs. This really means a lot when you start to look at like the level 3 advisors here. Let me pick something up here. These are all level 2s. You'll probably get something from the estates here. Let's see. Give me something, give me something. Let's see what that did. Yeah, there we go. So, less than 3 ducats to have a level 3 advisor in the beginning of the game is huge. So going back to the Empire of China here, as the Emperor, you can establish tributaries for other nations in your area. Let me just open up. Oh yeah, this is another thing too. They have a new diplomacy menu. This is amazing. Feel free to explore this. You're able to actually automatically set up diplomats to perform certain functions. So improve relations with perhaps your neighboring countries or your own subjects or threatening countries. Really great stuff to look into here. But I really like the fact that it'll tell you how many countries you can offer an alliance to that'll accept, how many countries you can offer a proclaimed guarantee to that'll accept. So let's say we just go into established tributaries. You click on this, it will list the 18 countries that would accept your offer for establishing a tributary, and then it changes the map mode too to show in green the countries that would accept. And this is for any diplomatic offer. So offer alliance, and it shows you in green the countries that would accept, and in red the ones that wouldn't. And it also gives you the difference in reasons, so you can see at a glance, just like the metadata, right, of your diplomatic world here. And this is like so good to me. I'm a heavy diplomatic player. I'm really into this side of the game, so to have this information at my disposal without having to, like I used to, just manually click around and like look at the reasons and blah 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 and try to get a picture for myself. It's all right here, and boom, my information's right in front of me. It's wonderful. So going over here to establishing tributaries. For every tributary you establish, that tributary, I think I might even say it here. As our overlord, you'll be able to demand a yearly tribute from them in the form of cash, points, or manpower. They'll still be able to, yeah, okay. So a tributary isn't quite a vassal. You can think of it more like a prince of the HRE. So they're independent still. They can conduct all of their own diplomacy. However, every year they have to pay you monies, basically. And as long as they are loyal, and the weird thing is they show up here in subjects, even though they're not really a subject, but as long as they're loyal, and their liberty desire isn't too high, they'll pay you. And the more tributaries you have, the more your mandate will tick up. To have countries out there that aren't tributaries that could be, it will actually weigh down your mandate, so you want to maximize the number of tributaries you have out there. Of course, when you have tributaries, and an outside country who isn't one of your tributaries attacks them, you'll be called in to defend them. And it won't be all of the tributaries banding together with you. It'll be you on your own to defend, say, I don't know, Arakan from Bengal. And that's the war you have to fight. So there's that downside to it. But I haven't really seen it played out, at least in the beginning. You're still the biggest, baddest guy around, so the AI does factor in that they are a tributary and that they are protected by you, so the likelihood that the AI will attack one of your tributaries is kind of low in the beginning. Another really cool thing is the new CB, the Unite China CB. So if there is, if any other country than the Emperor owns any territory within the North China, South China, or Xin'an regions, then the Emperor, in this case it's Ming, gets a CB on them. Oh, hold on. Let's 5-speed this bad boy. Whoop. Okay. Unified China. It's pretty cool. It's like, it's basically like a Reconquest CB. You get 50% aggressive expansion, 50% cost, you get 150% prestige for the conquest of that province. So in this case, it's this little guy here. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Oh, another thing. This will cost meritocracy, but you can enact decrees. You can only have one decree at a time, but let me just go through the ones that are here. Development cost and core creation cost minus 10%. When combined with that, now you have 20% core creation cost off. That's pretty sweet. Ship durability plus 20%. Yeah, okay. Fort defense plus 25%, pretty good. Infantry combat ability, always nice. Provincial trade power modifier plus 25%, that's pretty sweet. You can think of it as like a kind of boost to your mercantilism. And then you have national tax modifier plus 25%, that's also sweet. And that's basically the Empire of China. I'm going to go briefly through the rest of this. Where else can we hit? Oh, the ages. Okay. So actually it's good that I'm in normal mode now. I can use console to move through this. You have 4 ages. Roughly speaking, well, you start in the Age of Discovery, and then roughly speaking, the Age of Reformation, it's about 1500-ish. And then Absolutism hits about 1600-ish. And then the Age of Revolutions hits about 1700-ish. And I'll tell you why once we go through this stuff. So Age of Discovery, you start with it, it's fine. It enables certain things, and you'll notice when you go through these different ages that some things that were allowed in the earlier ages are no longer allowed in the later ones. So an example of that is, let's see, I think Crusades. I think I saw something about Crusades, unless they've changed it. We'll look into it. Yeah, oh, here we go. Religious conflicts. Crusades can be called by the papal controller. Let me just go ahead and jump forward to revolutions real quick. This age has no special religious conflict. Reformation centers are gone. There's no crusades being called. The Pope cannot excommunicate, so you can't excommunicate either in the Age of Revolutions. I think it also is the case in absolutism. Let's just double check. And that is the case. Okay, so I think in the Reformation, certainly you still have that. Let's just double check. Yep, that stuff still happens. Okay. So it's interesting to look through this stuff. So, Splendor is the currency that you use during your ages. Let's go back to the first one, Age of Discovery. You will gain Splendor. You'll gain 1 per month plus the number of objectives you have filled. And these are your objectives listed here. They're unique to each age. So let's just go through some of these quickly. Age of Discovery, if you discover America, boom, objective met. If you control at least 5 provinces with a center of trade, boom, objective met. If you own and control a core province with at least 30 development, objective met. Embrace the Renaissance institution, that's another one. Have at least 5 different vassals at the same time, that's another one. Present on 2 continents. And humiliate a rival through a peace treaty, that's kind of an easy one to get. So you can see this is kind of geared towards colonial nations, nations that explore, maybe Italian nations. Definitely helps to be European here. Every age will also have 4 countries, and it kind of simulates like these were great times for this country, that will get their own unique bonus here. that they can buy with Splendor. I think every bonus costs you 800 Splendor. Or this might even be automatic for these countries. Let's see. We're gonna test this in a minute to see if this is free or if you have to purchase these. I think you have to purchase these. But in the Age of Discovery, the Guns of Urban give plus 33 siege ability to the Ottomans. This is amazing for Portugal. They get plus 50 global settler increase. You will colonize so fast as Portugal in the Age of Discovery with this. It is amazing. I guess they did something to help Denmark keep control of Scandinavia. So Liberty, Desire, and Subjects minus 30. And then Venetian trade, ship trade power plus 50%. It's pretty sweet. So, okay. So assuming you have some of your objectives and it's ticking up and you have 800 Splendor. Okay. What can I spend my Splendor on? Let's see. Feudal de jure law, unrest minus 5. Okay, so this actually allows a state edict. And a state edict. What is a state edict, you see? You say. So now, when you click on a province, you'll see there's the provincial menu, which is, you know, normal. It's what it's always been. And then you can click on the state window. It shows you the state income, the state maintenance that you're paying right now. And you also have a new window here where you can view edicts that you can impose. Now, when you put forth or you enact an edict, it's going to raise your state maintenance. But the trade-off is the benefit that you get over here. So, institution spread plus 33%, that's pretty good. If you're just paying like another ducat a month for that, that could really be worth it. Local manpower, missionary strength, defensiveness, development cost. You have a lot of interesting things here. And when you enact an edict, it looks like it lasts at least 1 year. And then it increases state maintenance by 200%. So let's see. Looks like state maintenance here in the state of Shaanxi is 0.33, so this should make it about a ducat, I think. Unless my math is wrong. Hey, look at that. It's about a ducat. Okay, so that's how you enact an edict. So, whoops, wrong place. So, okay, so that just enables you to enact that state law, edict, which will lower unrest in your state by 5. It's actually kind of cool for large swaths of land that you may have just conquered. You also have aggressive expansion impact minus 10%. These are all like really good things. This is cool. You can gain the transfer subject peace treaty option at half the cost. So you can say, an example that was cited was you can declare war on Burgundy as France and take his vassals from him in the peace treaty. Another thing here is war taxes cost minus 100%. So you can get war taxes for free. You don't have to pay military points for it. With this enabled. Cav armies, this is kind of cool. Your cav to infantry ratio raises by 20%. Oh, this is really nice. Plus 1 tax. Okay, so 1 development. You get 1 extra development in each category when you create a colony. Or when you finish building a colony. And then this is also an interesting one. Adaptive combat terrain. So you will get plus 1 to your rolls in any province that shares the terrain with your capital. So that's a little tricky. Let's go over to Beijing as an example. And we'll look at the terrain of Beijing. So Beijing is farmlands. That means that if I have that enabled, wherever I go, if I'm fighting in the farmlands, I get plus 1 to all my rolls. No matter where I am in the world, if the terrain that I'm fighting on is farmlands terrain, then I'm getting plus 1 to all my rolls. That's what that means. So that's the Age of Discovery. And then as you go on, you'll see that there are more and more of these. So you get new objectives with the next age of Reformation, and the next age will happen when Protestantism has been created in the world and it exists, and it lasts for 120 months. So 10 years. So, you know, Protestant Reformation pops up over here in Europe somewhere. As long as Protestantism doesn't get snuffed out in 10 years, you move on to the Age of Reformation. That being said, it is possible. It is possible to have the game freeze in the Age of Discovery. Well, at least you can prevent it from going into the Age of Reformation, because the Age of Absolutism starts when global trade has been discovered, which is going to be automatic in 1600-ish, right? And that lasts for 10 years. And then the next one is the next institution when the next age of revolutions is also institution. So when enlightenment has been discovered, which is in 1700-ish, and it lasts for 10 years, then you go into the age of revolutions. So that's how you move on with these. Now, when you change from one age to the next, you lose any bonuses you had enabled up here. That includes golden eras. So if you have at least 3 of your objectives filled here in your age, you can start a golden era, and it gives you really nice bonuses. Plus 10% morale, power cost down, goods produced modifier plus 10%, maximum absolutism plus 5. That's pretty sweet too. We'll go into absolutism in just a second. I just wanted to see if this was the same. Yeah, it's the same thing. So you have other abilities here. I'll go through these country abilities. So Spanish tercios, shock damage received minus 30%. Mughal artillery cost is halved. Polish crown, goods produced modifier, plus 33%. That's kind of interesting. Persian reinforcement, reinforced cost minus 30%. And again, it's for individual countries. And only these countries can get these bonuses. You have some objectives here as well. And the way the objectives work is you have to... Let's see. It's not like you have to have met it once. You have to maintain it to keep that objective. So, let's say you have... I guess this is the best example right here. Create a colonial empire. Have several colonial nations as subjects. Let's say you have, I guess, 5 colonies, is what that's supposed to mean. So have 5 colonies. Let's say you have 5 colonies, and then for some reason you lose one, and you go back down to 4. You lose this objective as well. So your splendor tick up will also go down. And just briefly going through this is pretty cool. Religion Enforced Edict, it prevents basically your religion from changing to Reformation. Well, it's plus 90% resistance, I guess. Coastal Barrage, Blockade Impact on Siege, plus 1. That's kind of cool. War Score versus other religions, minus 25%. That's pretty sweet. Mercenary Discipline, plus 5%. That's interesting. Interesting if you have a merc army. Ship Trade Power Propagation, plus 20%. That's interesting because that actually works for... That works for siphoning trade power from upstream nodes, I believe. So that could be used pretty well. This is great. Institution spread in True Faith provinces plus 50%. And prestige per development from missionary plus 0.30. So it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, if you've conquered something and it's, say, I don't know, 12 development, 15 development, I mean, that's like 5 prestige, 4 prestige, 5 prestige, whatever it is. I mean, it's a decent number there. And here are the objectives. Change state religion to either Protestant or Reformed religion. Fully embrace either the humanism or religious idea group. Convert at least 10 provinces to your faith. Have several colonial nations as subjects. Force another nation to change their religion. Gain the trade bonus from either silk, spices, or Chinaware. Own all provinces of your culture group. So this is kind of interesting. This plays well for the Germanic countries, and then you got a couple of sprinkled in there for the colonial countries. It'd be interesting to see what country has the easiest time getting these objectives in the Age of Reformation. Whoops, I skipped one. So absolutism is really good if you're playing Ming. Emperor of China, boom, right there. You also have potential for a large army, have a land force limit of at least 200 regiments. I mean, it's easy to get it as Ming, but it's easy to get it as others as well. Multicultural nation, have at least 5 different promoted cultures. It's kind of easy to get by that, I think, if you're expanding. Be a part of the victorious side in the Religious League War. That's interesting. Own at least 5 universities. Easy to do again as Ming. You have plenty of cash. found at least 3 different trade companies. So you have some interesting things here, and these are really good here. If you look at these country-specific modifiers, France gets plus 20% land fire damage. The Dutch get minus 0.2 yearly corruption. I mean, I don't even know how that plays out. I guess if you're unless you're expanding in Europe, maybe that's good for you. I don't know. Unless we're talking about like maybe debasing our currency. I don't know. I don't see it yet. I don't see the worth there. Swedish recruitment plus 35% manpower recovery speed. Interesting. And then Manchu banners. Oh yeah, the introduction of banners. Interesting. I don't know if I'll touch that in this video. I'm trying to keep it short. But yeah, look up banners. I'll leave that for you to discover. The last thing I'm going to talk about here, yeah, and the rest of the ages, feel free to look into that stuff when the game comes out. I just wanted to show you the concept. The last thing I'll talk about here is absolutism. So now when you go to your government view, you'll see these 2 little guys here. One is your actual level of absolutism, which for us is 0 right now, and then you have your maximum level of absolutism. So we have a max value of 79. That means our absolutism can only go as high as 79, you guessed it. So your absolutism goes up or down based on decisions or actions that you make. So if you do harsh treatment, you increase your stability, you decrease your autonomy, you strengthen your government, your absolutism goes up. If you do the reverse, basically, increasing autonomy, debasing currency, accepting rebel demands. Oh, interesting, assigning a parliament seat. That's interesting. Or reducing war exhaustion. Your absolutism goes down. So when your absolutism is higher, maybe there's a way I can... Yeah, I think I can do this. One second. So I'm just going to up my absolutism a little bit here. Oh, actually, I bet I could do it here. Yeah, so I just maxed out my absolutism. You'll see the effect that this has. I think I need a month's tick, though. Discipline. So you can go up to 5% in discipline. Look at that admin efficiency and the foreign core duration. That's interesting. I like the admin efficiency, though, the most, actually. That's crazy. 31% admin efficiency. So just short of 50% when you hit 100. And look at that, you can go up to 5% discipline, all based on your absolutism. So, yeah, definitely worth checking out. Really no downside to it. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna leave it there. That's basically a little bit of most of what's come in to play here with Mandate of Heaven DLC. I'll be streaming some Let's Plays soon after this video comes out. I'll also be putting some content up here on the channel, so if you want to see more of that, feel free to subscribe. If you like the video, if you have some comments, hit the like button, leave me some comments, give me some feedback, let me know what you think, and as always, happy gaming. I'll see you next time. Whoa, look at that screen. Okay, bye.